Good afternoon, welcome to VANIK-IAS. We will discuss current affairs of 29 March. First topic is related to health, that is VANIK-IAS. VANIK-IAS, India's anti-tuberculosis fight and a patent battle. What are the issues regarding VANIK-IAS? The recent Indian Patent Office rejected an application by pharmaceutical giant Johnson & Johnson to extend its patent on drug VANIK beyond 2023. VANIK is a drug tablet for used to treat drug-resistant tuberculosis. The rejection opens the door for drug manufacturers to produce generic versions of VANIK, which expected to be more affordable and contribute India's goal of eliminating TB by 2025. Okay. Now, first question is, what is patent? Patent means, see, government has limited resources, so government cannot space huge amount of money in terms of research and development in case of medical field or any other field. So government want the private sector to participate in the research and develop the medicines. If a private sector will invest huge amount of money in making a medicine, then in return what he will get? He will get patent. Patent means the sole right to produce that medicine. Right? Suppose patent is given for 10 years. That means for 10 years that particular company will sell that same composition to the public. Right? And they will, it's one type of monopoly. Somebody is selling a particular medicine, so he will get the benefit for that. So as the particular company has invested in research, they will get the patent and they will enjoy the benefit. But what happens, suppose after 10 years, sometimes they ask for evergreening. What is the term that is called as evergreening of patent? Evergreening issue. Evergreening means, suppose after 10 years the patent is over, then usually what they do, they will make slight change in that medicine, slight changes in that medicine by increasing a little bit composition or something like that, and they will ask for evergreening, means 10 more years, give us patent for 10 more years, something like that. Right? That is called as evergreening, just by making a slight changes. For example, you are making the same sarbat, but you are adding a little bit of jeera powder or something like that. That do not significantly change the taste of sarbat, but you have slightly added something. Something like that. Evergreening is some changes in that composition that lead to slight changes in the efficiency or something like that. The government of India, evergreening is not allowed in government of India unless it changes the significant efficiency. Significant efficient. If it is the next medicine is not significantly different from the earlier medicine, you will not get next permission for another 10 years. So similarly, Johnson & Johnson, it has not got the patent for VANIK, which will fight drug-resistant tuberculosis. What do you mean by drug resistance? That is one type of AMR, antimicrobial resistance. Antimicrobial resistance means a particular medicine. Antimicrobial resistance means a particular antimicrobial resistance means a disease, a particular person become resistant to medicines, right? It especially develops after taking antibiotics or different medicines. That medicine will not work in your body again. That is the problem with AMR, drug resistance. That is the problem with drug resistance. Okay, antimicrobial resistance. So this tuberculosis, it was the medicine to fight with drug resistant tuberculosis already. So it's a higher stage of tuberculosis in which usual normal medicines do not work. It is fighting with drug resistant tuberculosis. The rejection opens the door to drug manufacturers to produce generic versions of beta-acrylanes. Now, generic version, that is, for example, Dawa India, Pradhan Mantri Janaushadhi, Janaushadhi Kendras, those who are creating generic versions of the beta-acrylane. That means the generic medicines are much cheaper than the earlier medicine. Much cheaper means, suppose the normal medicine you will get, suppose 100 rupees is the normal medicine, you will get generic medicine at 20 or 30 rupees. So it is much easier, and that helps the government to address the health issues and provide free medicines in every government hospitals. And these generic medicines have same efficiency like the traditional medicines, which are expected to be more affordable and contribute to India's goal of eliminating TB by 2025. If we target to eliminate TB by 2025, we have a goal. We have to provide these medicines sufficiently to the government hospitals so that everybody can afford it. And by if we allow the generic versions, then obviously the poor can also afford it. Now, what is drug resistance TB? As 2017, India accounted 1/4 of world's burden of multi-drug resistance TB and extensively drug resistance SDR TB. Around 1/4 of world's burden of multi-drug resistance and extensively drug resistance TB. MDR TB resists treatment by at least isoniazid. MDR TB, yes. Now, MDR TB resists treatment of least isoniazid and rifampicin, the two frontline drugs in TB treatment. XDR TB resists two drugs as well as that is fluoroquinolones and the second time injectable drug. XDR TB is rarer than MDR TB. There are 1,24,000 cases in India and versus 2,000 in the former. So see the issues of this drug resistance. Drug resistance is a big issue. WHO has found that around 85% people who have taken medicines for TB, they have developed drug resistance. They need a different medicine rather than that. That same medicine will not work. Same in the case of malaria also, chloroquine. WHO found that this chloroquine medicine they have distributed throughout the world, and after some years they found that around in 80% of the cases, 80 to 85% of cases, drug resistance against that chloroquine tablets has developed. So this is a big problem, and that's why we need a higher version of medicine or different medicine to counter even that drug resistance. Sometimes multi-drug resistance also develop, in which multiple medicines will not work inside everybody. Especially it happens when you take the medicines in improper manner, or you are taking improper manner, right? TB incidence in India has been the decline, but MDR TB and SDR TB endanger initiatives to locally eradicate the disease. Okay. Then TB incidence in India has been the decline, but MDR TB and XDR TB endanger initiatives locally. Yes, another point, just remember that this MDR TB we have MDR and XDR. MDR TB has 2,550 cases. Right. XDR TB is rarer. Sorry, XDR TB is rarer than MDR TB. You must remember this. This is a prelims fact. They may ask it. You may not remember this from these statistics, but just remember XDR TB are rarer. MD or TB are more prevalent. Right. Next, TB incidence has been in India has been on the decline, but MD or TB and extra TB endanger initiatives to locally eradicate the disease during COVID-19 pandemic. Just a second. Okay, so TB incidence in India has been declined, but MD and initiative endanger the initiative locally to eradicate the disease. Right. During COVID-19 pandemic, there were indications that TB treatment was hit by disrupted supply chains, availability of healthcare and non-pandemic work, access to drug distribution centers. So many problems arised. A peer review 2020 study reported that TB becomes isoniazid resistant and a person does not fully adhere to treatment regimen, whereas inflammation resistance emerges due to other factors. So different type of resistance are there. If you do not properly take care of the disease, then this resistance will develop. That is isoniazid resistant, and if rifampicin resistance, it is developed due to other factors. It is also found that incidence of MDR TB resistance to both drugs was strongly correlated with the treatment failure and spread through contact, not to treatment compliance. How drug resistant TB treated? TB is an infection of the bacterium Mycobacterium tuberculosis for lungs. Mycobacterium tuberculosis, an infection, but often in other organs as well. It can be treated by strictly adhering to the doses and frequencies of drugs prescribed by a physician. So you should be strictly adhered to the doses. If you are not taking medicine in proper doses, then there are chances that drug resistance will develop. Deviation from this schedule can lead the bacteria to become drug resistant. Right? Yet they happen because drug resistance have side effects that diminish the quality of life, or because patients have been afforded access to requisite drugs on time. So strictly they have to follow the doses. Drug resistant TB is harder to treat. It is one important option that those diagnosed with pulmonary MDR is TB is bedaquiline. It is one of the most important medicine. In 2018, World Health Organization replaced two injectable drugs for MDR TB and oral regimen that included bedaquilines. At this time, bedaquiline has not completed phase 3 trials. That's why it is actually replaced. The recommendation was based on smaller trials, outcomes of TB elimination programs worldwide, the difficulty of treating MDR TB, close monitoring of patients receiving the drug. So every medicine goes to various types of trial 1, trial 3, and based on that, it is usually okay. How good is bedaquiline? Typically, bedaquiline needs to be taken for 6 months at higher dose in the first 2 weeks, followed by lower doses in 22 weeks. The period is shorter than other treatment routines for pulmonary MDR TB, which can 9 to 24 months. So it is to be taken for 6 months, right? At a higher dose for first 2 weeks. So one phase 2 clinical trial observed that culture conversion turning a patient's put-on culture positive negative, and at 24 weeks was durable, associated with high likelihood of response at 12 20 weeks due to VANIK-IAS. So it is good, right? So it is a very effective. VANIK-IAS is very effective and very good response within 120 weeks. Unlike the second treatment option, there are injected can be severe side effects. Permanent hearing loss. VANIK-IAS is available as tablets as less harmful. It is a less harmful tablet, although it has potential side effects of its own. Studies 2008 found that it may be toxic to the heart and the liver. This part is why recommended. This is the part of why it is recommended when the other treatment options for MDR TB have failed. So it's a last resort. It's a last resort to, but I've learned the last resort so far as last resort so far as TB is concerned. India's Health Ministry has guidelines for VANIK-IAS use as a part of programmatic management of MDR TB under National TB Elimination Program. National TB Elimination Program. The WHO decision revitalized a debate about ethics of making much needed but insufficiently tested drug available quickly on compassionate grounds versus lowering safety threshold. Pharmaceutical companies producing drugs for desperate patients. So lowering the safety threshold. So as it is, there is no other option. In those cases, you can only take VANIK-IAS because it has many side effects as well. Next, why the patient application rejected? Okay, now we see why the patient the Johnson & Johnson patient application for the production of a few minutes salt of a compound with which to make VANIK-IAS tablets. The two groups oppose the patient. Two groups oppose the patent. Network of Maharashtra people living with HIV. Network of Maharashtra people living with HIV and Nandita Venkatesan and Hemant Desai, both TB survivors, supported by Medicines Sans Frontiers. The both groups argued that the method to produce solid pharmaceutical composition of VANIK-IAS is obvious, known in the art, but does not require inventive step. It's a normal step because we are making a solid pharmaceutical composition. According to the Indian Patent Act 1970, inventive step is an invention that is not obvious a person's skill in that art. So it's an invention. So as it is not invention, VANIK-IAS this making solid pharmaceutical composition is not invention. So it cannot get patent. They also objected that the J&J application didn't contain information about current patent application. Their specification, priority dates, and other details required under Section 8. So the latter contended that current application differs significantly from previous patent. We discussed a similar compound on which VANIK-IAS is based and whose priority date is well preceded the new application. The patent office rejected the application on the other grounds, including Section 3D and 3E of Act. These pertain to mere discovery of the known substance which does not result in the enhancement of the known efficiency of that substance. A substance obtained by a mere admixture resulting only aggression and properties of the components thereof, respectively, which are not patented. So, as Section 3D and 3E of Act that say that a mere discovery of new forms cannot give efficiency. Unless the efficacy of that medicine increases, we cannot give one more patent. Why rejection is notable? India has a larger population of with drug-resistant TB. J&J patent of VANIK-IAS means the drug cost around $4,400 for 6 months schedule. In addition to the cost of other drugs, the rejection is expected to lower the cost of VANIK-IAS by up to 80%. So far, the Indian government has directly procured the drug and distributed it through state-level TB programs. Indian government had directly procured the drug and distributed it to state-level TB programs. Since 2016, India has also availed Bedaquiline donated as at no cost by an US agency for international development. The argument based on also relevant evergreening and strategy by where patent owner continuously extend the rights to same entity that India do not allow evergreening, so it will expire by 2023. Here is rival. What do most deadly virus contain RNA? Why most deadly contain RNA? In mass, James Watson co-discoverer of the structure of DNA received a note from the Harriet F.C. Tyler, a friend from National Center for Scientific Research, France. The note titled Top Secret contained news of potential discovery that had enormous implications in molecular biology, virology, and immunology. The note read Barnett's words from work in his lab that flu virus has principally, possibly, exclusively RNA. Suspect the same poliovirus. So it is found that in most of the deadly virus, there is RNA. Why is DNA preferred over RNA? Most organisms prefer DNA over RNA. It is a chemical puzzle to store genetic information. Right? Many organisms prefer DNA to store genetic information, as like evolved from single cell organisms in increasingly complex forms. Amount of genetic data that had to be transferred to subsequent generation become a corresponding higher. So organisms need to make sure that mechanisms for copying genetic material was that much more robust. Okay, so organisms need to make sure that mechanism for copying genetic material is robust. So somewhere RNA is preferred. See the DNA and RNA. There is our standard genetic information, nuclear pairs, AT like CG, TA, CG like this GC, nuclear pairs. But in case of RNA, it is GAG, something like single stranded backbone. It is double stranded. It is like this. What's that? Single stranded. Single backbone, one parent nuclear bases. So, there is a difference between RNA and DNA. In particular, organisms need the ability to correct inadvertent errors in the copying mechanism. The enzymes responsible for copying DNA, collectively known as DNA polymerases. DNA polymerases possesses the error correction property known as technical parlance of proofreading. This proofreading ability allows the total DNA higher organisms known as genome be longer and more complex. On the other hand, RNA counterparts to DNA polymerases known as RNA polymerases do not possess the ability to be proofread. So RNA do not possess the ability to be proofread. Okay. As a result, RNA is a genetic material. Genome typically tend to be shorter. Longer genomes, so RNA is shorter. Longer genomes contain proportionally higher mistakes. So genome is longer, then mistakes will be more. And such genomes would be eliminated by natural selection. Coronaviruses beautifully illustrate the point since the genomes are typically 3 to 4 times the size of other RNA viruses. So there is multiple mutations. This can afford longer genomes because the presence of a unique protein in addition to RNA polymerase that performs the proofreading function. The difference between DNA and RNA. So proofreading means this error correction property. The error correction property is called as proofreading. Error correction means For example, copy mechanism, right? Copying a particular DNA, that is called as proofreading. RNA polymerases are also capable of recombination, a process that allows stitch together. Recombination is allowed when the RNA can stick together in pieces of viral RNAs. This way, viral RNA contain mutations at location X and another contains mutation at location I. The recombination can create virus containing both X and Y by shifting to two regions of the viral. So this is how, for example, XV variant of SARS-CoV-2 is product of the VA210. So this is two variants, right? There is recombination process, which multiple when they stitch together. But the advantage of RNA at the time of Watson received from the note, while he had viewed that DNA was genetic material and all life forms, Burnett's discovery was groundbreaking because he showed for the first time that certain viruses existed that has RNA in their genetic material. So certain viruses has RNA as the genetic material, not the DNA. This is what the crux. The discovery was important because if today we name 10 viruses, most of them are likely to be RNA viruses. The most popular disease-causing viruses were RNA, not DNA, including the causative agents of COVID-19: AIDS, polio, influenza, dengue, chikungunya, Ebola, Zika, hepatitis, rabies, Marburg, yellow fever, Japanese encephalitis. So 10 viruses and most of them has RNA viruses. There are RNA viruses. Some viruses have DNA viruses, but all these deadly viruses, they have RNA viruses. Except for HIV, which is responsible for AIDS, all these viruses contain error-prone RNA polymerase. Error-prone RNA polymerase. HIV uses slightly different mechanism to replicate, but enzyme responsible shares the error-prone nature of its sequence. The better-known DNA viruses included members of the pox family, and hepatitis B. At the heart of the domination of RNA viruses over human disease lies the error-prone nature of the polymerase. So single property closed virus acquire multiple adaptations. That is what we call as especially mutation. And because of mutation, when in case of RNA viruses, there is multiple mutations, and that creates. It uses slightly different mechanism to replicate, but enzyme responsible to share error-prone nature of its sequence. So multiple mutations are created, and that becomes difficult for the human beings to treat. For most, RNA polymerase enables these viruses to exist in a form of scientists refer to as quasi-species. This means that the given virus can exist in multiple variants from simultaneously in each host. But inside body, multiple variants they can stay. They can mutate themselves, and different type of viruses can stay inside your body. That will lead to multi-organ or like something procedures. So results in the error-prone replication. What are the consequences of RNA and genetic? Some of these viral variants will be non-infectious due to mistakes in the genome. In the host, immune system will eliminate another significant factor. What are consequences? Some of the viral variants will be non-infectious mutated in the genome. In the host, immune system will eliminate another significant fraction. However, such diversity allows creation of odd variant that possess survival advantage against the vaccine or a drug. What happens when multiple types of viruses are present inside your body? Doesn't matter what happens, you can survive, right? A particular one virus can survive. So even if you take medicines or something like that, still there is chances that this is why multiple variants of COVID continue to circulate this day. This is also why developing highly effective vaccines against RNA vaccines viruses remains challenging. A second indirect consequences of low fidelity replication process is small size viral genome. This allows RNA virus to have a short generation time. So very short period infection, the virus host population becomes enormous. In case of RNA virus, why it is dangerous? Whenever it enters to the host, the body, it has short generation time, so it can create multiple viruses at the very quickly. It will spread. Single virus can become multiple viruses. High viral output together with the diversity overwhelms the immune system. That is the problem. So different variants of viruses, huge number of viruses that overcome the immune system and affect the person. The third term, zoonosis, this is because high error rate and short generation time enable the virus to adapt newer conditions much faster, allowing infections to spread easily among the host. This is why 89% human infection RNA viruses are considered to be the result of zoonotic transmissions. Next is what is depleted uranium. Minister of State Defense United Kingdom said that some ammunition for the Challenger 2 battle tanks of the Britain giving Ukraine includes armor-piercing rounds which contain depleted uranium. Depleted uranium is a byproduct of the process of creating enriched uranium, which is used in nuclear reactors and nuclear weapons. In comparison to enriched uranium, depleted uranium is much less radioactive and is incapable of generating a nuclear reaction. Right? Much less radioactive. So, however, due to high density, depleted uranium is widely used in weapons as it easily penetrates armor plating. According to when enriched uranium is created, that is uranium 130, 238. According to nuclear expert, it is so dense and it's got so much momentum that it just keeps going through the armor and hits up so much that it catches on fire. The US began manufacturing of armor-piercing rounds with the depleted uranium in 1970s and has since added its composite tank to the armor to strengthen it. So this is the news, and it is less radioactive. Remember, depleted uranium is less radioactive than the enriched uranium. Right, depleted uranium, the tank buster weapon of choice. So fastest steel case projectile blast out of tank barrel, dark slide projectile able to stay sharp. Right. Depleted uranium burning away to vapor in the contact. When the projectile breaks through the burning depleted uranium turns the tank's interior into a inferno. So there is a huge amount of gas and sparks that is created. Deployed uranium to munitions fired by Air Force A-10 close to support attack plane. It is used by Air Force also. The US military is still developing depleted uranium munitions, notably M829A for armor piercing round, Abrams main battle tank. Apart from US, Britain, Russia, China, they all produce uranium weapons. These are all countries, France, Pakistan, which are not classified as nuclear weapons as per international coalition of to ban uranium weapons. Another 14 states are known to store them. What are the risk of using weapons? Even though depleted uranium munitions are not considered nuclear weapons, experts suggest that such weapons must be used with a caution because they emit low level of radiation and can cause severe disease. Ingesting or inhaling quantities of uranium, even depleted uranium, is dangerous. It depresses renal function and raises the risk of developing range of cancers. It may develop a range of cancers. Moreover, according to international coalition to ban European uranium weapons, depleted uranium munitions which must miss the target can poison groundwater and soil. So it has potential to make environmental pollution, which are where have depleted uranium munitions are used. It is used in Gulf War to destroy T-20 Iraq tanks of Iraq. These were again used in NATO bombing of Yugoslavia. About 340 tons of depleted uranium are used in munitions against Gulf War. So it is widely used. It will not make huge destruction like the earlier ones, but it has significant impact. Next, Pradhan Bandhan Vikas Yojana. Pradhan Bandhan Vikas Yojana, government is providing 15 lakh Bandhan Vikas Kendra. Bandhan Vikas Kendra to encourage livelihood activities of tribal people across the country. Bandhan Vikas program is an initiative of Ministry of Tribal Affairs. It gives tribal people means of livelihood, and Bandhan, that is forest resources, not timber forest resources especially. They largely funded for view of medium support price and the creation of the value chain system, selling the minor products. Value chain system. They collect the forest produces. Now you require a chain that will spread with them to different states and different localities. So that will be all done by the Bandhan Vikas Yojana. The program makes an effort to modernize the traditional knowledge and at least able to make sustainable economic equality. That means the government want to make them modernized so that their efficiency and effective will increase. In accordance to Bandhan scheme, TriFed will assist the development of MFP-led multi-purpose Bandhan Vikas Kendras, TriFed. Right. Tribal region. So this is especially they work in exports of the tribal goods. TriFed works in that dimension. Each Kendra will attract central location for shared resources for buying and enhancing locally available MFPs, right? Skill-based handicrafts. Bandhan Vikas program was created especially by tribal people. It consists of 15 tribal self-help groups serving up to 300 beneficiaries. Minor forest produce, MFP, it is called as non-timber forest produce, right? That is NTF, non-timber forest produce. A significant source of income. It gives a lots of STs who live in and around in the woods of sustenance, medical care, and monetary income they need. Providing MFP gatherers, which are fair price for the MFPs to collect their through minimum support price and development in the value chain for MFP program aims to enhance their stand for living. So, that's the way of sustenance for the tribal people. Minister of Tribal Affairs will serve as a focal ministry for the administration and management of the program. Technical guidance from TriFed would be used for minister to select the minimum price support price. So TriFed will recommend some inputs regarding minimum support price. Try to write this answer. There is a need to review defamation laws because recently Rahul Gandhi has been disqualified as a MP because he has got a sentence of 2 years. Anybody who got convicted in the sentence of 2 years will, if any legislative member, immediately just after the verdict he got disqualified. So there should be review in the chain of misuse. Sometimes it is many eminent people have said it is misused and there should not be 2 years of jail. Also, it is predominantly done to disqualify the MP. So that's why it is in news. So legal provisions regarding defamation are critically examine the need for defamation laws in India. Here maximum punishment is 2 years and it is given to the person. Arguments, so write the positives and negatives also. It's useful, why it is useful in India. Okay, next slide, let's study the in the context of development of bioinformatics, the term transcriptome. What do you mean by transcriptome? Sometimes in the news. What do you mean by transcriptome? The range of enzymes used in genome editing. The full range of mRNA molecules expressed by an organism. The description of mechanism of gene expression. Mechanism of genetic mutations taking place in the cells. This is not what is already genetic mutations. This is cannot never happen. Description of the mechanism of gene expression. Gene expression, it is already a expression. It is already a verb. Range of enzymes used in a genome editing. The full range of mRNA molecules expressed by an organisms. This full range of mRNA molecules. This is the answer. B is the answer. Full range of mRNA molecules expressed by organisms. We have studied that mRNA are highly powerful and mRNA are predominantly seen in those diseases which are for like COVID-19 or highly prevalent. Next question. With reference to recent developments in science, which of the following statements is not correct? Functional chromosomes can be created by joining segments of DNA taken from cells of different species. Chromosomes can be created by joining segments of DNA. So this is not correct. It cannot be done. Pieces of artificial functional DNA can be created in laboratories. Yes, artificial functional DNA can be created in laboratories, but it cannot be created by joining segments of DNA. A piece of DNA taken out from animal cell can be made to replicate outside the living cell laboratory. Yes, that is for example, IVF. Sorry, for example, yes, it can be done, right? Mutation, replication can be done. Cells taken out of the plants and animals can be made undergo cell division in laboratory in petri dishes. This is also right. But chromosomes cannot be created by joining segments of DNA and from cells of different species, especially from cells of different species, we cannot create a chromosome. Which the following popular diseases causing viruses of RNA, not DNA? COVID-19, dengue, Zika, rabies, smallpox and chickenpox, hepatitis B. Okay, which the following statements are right? This is right, dengue is right, Zika virus it is RNA, rabies also RNA, smallpox and see we know that COVID-19 it has popular COVID-19, so obviously one is there, so these two options are eliminated. Next is whether 136 or 1234. Zika rabies, this is also RNA, it has RNA one, then obviously Marburg. So D is the answer regarding RNA. Those viruses present RNA. When you have RNA, then your gen capacity is very high, and also RNA vaccine is highly powerful because their variant are also very high. For the following statement is with tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is caused by bacteria, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, that most often affect the lungs. People infected with TB bacteria have very high risk of falling ill with TB. Multi-drug resistance MDR TB does not respond to least this isoniazid and rifampicin, two most powerful anti-TB drugs. Which the following statements regarding TB is right? We have already discussed regarding TB. So, very risk of falling ill with TB. People infected with TB bacteria have very risk of falling ill with TB. This is wrong in Delhi. Right? For very high risk, whenever you such type of word, then very high, it is wrong. This multi-drug resistance MDR TB does not respond, but yes, they are multi-drug resistant. Already they are drug resistant. They do not respond to the medicines. It is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Vikas Yojana. Consider the following. It is an initiative targeting livelihood generation for tribals by harnessing the wealth of forest. Livelihood generation of tribals. Yes, livelihood generation of tribals. The nodal ministry is Ministry of Environment. This is Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So first one only is the correct answer. Ministry of Tribal Affairs with the help of TriFed, it will implement the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Vikas Yojana. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana is a small savings scheme governed by Post Office Savings Accounts Rules 1981. A girl child is eligible for Sukanya Samriddhi account only if she is a resident of Indian citizen at the time of opening the account. Post Office Savings Account Rules 1981. Partial withdrawal from Sukanya Samriddhi account can be made account holder at the age of 18 years. So, which of the following statements regarding correct regarding Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana? All the statements are right with respect to Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Shyamala Gopinath Committee. Shyamala Gopinath Committee is established regarding what? Regarding small saving schemes. Regarding small saving schemes, Shyamala Gopinath Committee has been established. Recently, Abhay Manohar Sapre Committee. Abhay Manohar Sapre. Who is Abhay Manohar Sapre Committee? What is Abhay Manohar Sapre? It is related to Supreme Court Hindenburg report. It is to establish the Hindenburg report. Vibhuti Bhushan Wildlife Sanctuary. Vibhuti Bhushan Wildlife Sanctuary also often mentioned in his news. Where is Vibhuti Bhushan Wildlife Sanctuary? It is Odisha or it is West Bengal. Okay, you can just observe the name also, Vibhuti Bhushan. So it cannot be in Assam or generally. Predominantly it may be Odisha or West Bengal, which names are like that. Amrut 2.0 is this flagship ministry on flagship scheme under which ministry? Amrut 2.0 is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Flagship scheme, that means multiple schemes comes under Amrut. Okay, Amrut 2.0. So the discussions end here, and like this video and share this video and subscribe to VANIK-IAS.